Alright everybody, and welcome to another Matthew's modelling video. Okie doke, I have a finished Hornby Jinty project to show you. Before I do, just want to say I hope you all enjoyed the footage from the Worth Palestine Gala. Excuse me. Just a few shots that I managed to grab here and there throughout the weekend. I didn't go to it, attend it properly. Just some shots I got as I was passing. But yeah, hope you enjoyed that. So, the Hornby Jinty, it is now complete. Or should I say it's complete enough. It's not fully done how I originally said. I haven't gone as far with it with regards to the chassis and things like that I originally planned. But I tend to do that with projects, but I'll show you anyway. So I haven't actually got the power on, but I will just roll it into shot nice and slowly. And here she is. Ta-da! Here is my finished Hornby Jinty. Now previously, when you saw this, all it had was just the coat of green paint, and now as you can see, lettering and number have been added, some detailing parts, some things have been picked out, and it's been weathered. Now also, as you can see, the chassis I have left alone. I did say in the first video that I'd like to attack the chassis weathering wise, and I've always been a bit wary of weathering chassis from my previous, earlier days in modelling. But I can live with it. One thing I do like about that chassis is that the connecting rod down the side of the wheels there has actually got some very microscopic patches of corrosion and maybe rust. And it's just filthy, anyway. So I quite like that, but it's obviously not to the extreme lengths as, a pro weathered version, or like the Batman Jinty that we'll have a look at in a minute. So yeah, so the chassis has not been touched. If I zoom in onto the tanks there on the side, so there we have the NCB lettering. I'm just going to drag it back ever so slightly. Yep, NCB lettering there. That's the same lettering as I applied to the yellow Sentinel. These are just letters and numbers that I picked up in a, I think it's a billboard kit that I got and never used. But yeah, it came with lettering transfers in there to make your own signs. And they've come in handy, or the NCB ones have. And then number 28 there, purely I did 28 just because that's my age. There you all go, that's how old I am. 28, so I thought, well, I've created this at the age of 28, so I'll whack 28 on there. And then I've picked out the builder's plate in red just to throw a bit of colour in. Weathering, a bit of a funny one to weather was this. All there is on there is black washes, and the first application it dried a really patchy streaky-ish effect left behind on it. Certainly not enough of a good enough job to leave as it was, but you can probably make out some of the patches there still from the original layer, and I've kept them in purely because, number one, it's interesting, and secondly, that I think it just gives a bit of an appearance that the driver, fireman, whatever, they've been round and they've tried to give it a quick wipe down here and there in between shifts, and it's never going to stay clean properly, and it's just picked out some patches of clean, and that's what I think, and I think it's quite interesting. So yeah, that's how the weathering's turned out. The other side, you'll see what I mean, because I've left that as it is. one just to show you, and two again just because it's interesting. But yeah, so that's the side of the tanks. If I just zoom out, and I'm gonna have to probably pick this up to show you, but on the front we've added a lamp and a vat pipe. I've rusted the buffers, added some buffer grease, and I think I might just give the buffer beam another black wash. But yeah, that's the front. The rear, particularly happy with the rear. So I've got the same treatment there. I've got the full green bunker, the streaky weathering, rusty buffers, vat pipe and lamp. But I really like the rear. I think the red and the green just contrast so well. And then if I turn it round, you can hopefully see, it's not quite picking it up. Try and zoom in. Oh, that's a bit better. You can see the streak coming down from the top of the tank, and I just found that really interesting. So I didn't weather over that like I have done the other side, so this side is actually a bit lighter, but it's just far more interesting in my eyes. So there you go. But yeah, overall very happy with how it's turned out. It's been a brilliant project, really enjoyed it. I'm going to turn it back round because I do prefer the other side. I was very sceptical at first. It's a bright colour, but I think I've got away with it. I'm extremely happy with how it's come out. I've took some, or in my opinion I've taken some brilliant photos of the model. They're posted on my Instagram page for anyone who follows, and I've got some others as well that I haven't uploaded yet. But it's just such a bright colour to work with that it's got some good effects on the images. But yeah, so there it is, that's the finished product. If I just zoom out and bring in the Batman Jinty, just place this on the track, I'll just budge it up ever so slightly. You can see that obviously there is differences as we looked at previously. The Hornby Jinty cab is just ever so slightly taller, and obviously the chassis is not as covered up and weathered. But yeah, they look good together. Different applications of weathering, and yeah, a lovely pair, as a bloke may say. So yeah, happy with how it's come out, and on to the next project. So videos coming up. I'm going to upload some footage from the Bolton Abbey and MC Railway that I visited at the weekend. Not a lot, just some stuff to show you, and then it'll be back on to some Matthews modelling for a couple of projects, and then I really need to get some common bound work done, but so many projects that I'm wanting to do and wanting to crack on with. But anyway, that's what you can expect. So I'm going to finish this now. I'm going to get some shots of it running round, maybe double heading if I can get them running, you know, parallel together. But I'll attach the you know, the freshly reworked wagons and see how it looks. So thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you next time. Bye bye.